Hey, what's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Assata, and we're back for yet another PCOS Tirzepatide update. If you guys are interested in this type of content, then please make sure to check out my playlist for wellness and for health. This video, as you guys read by the title, is going to be about my PCOS Tirzepatide journey, and I have pretty much been documenting it on my channel for quite some time now. Let's go ahead and run this back. So this is what my body looked like before, when I had recorded my last measurement video, and I'm going to be leaving my measurements on the side of the screen as I take my measurements in this video. So today is August 27th, and I weighed in today on the scale at 167 pounds. When I first started my Tirzepatide journey, getting back into the gym and everything like that, I was 194 pounds. And I did take my measurements in another video, which I'm going to be putting the measurements on the side of the screen so you guys can compare and contrast what my measurements are now. I had already lost a little bit of weight before I took my measurements the last time, which was I think in like June, if I'm not mistaken. So this is basically based off of that measurement. So that's what we're comparing, because that's when I actually started to take my measurements. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these measurements, and then I'm going to tell you guys some tips and tricks that I've been using to lose weight. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it. Number one, I do measure only 3 points of my body. Some people choose to measure more points. That's completely fine. It's up to you. My main focuses are my bust, my waist, as well as my hips/glutes. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to use inches, and I'm going to measure my bust. So my bust right now, hold on, I want to make sure the tape is tight, is a little bit, it's like one tick after 37 and a half, or before 37 and a half. So basically it's like 37 and a half inches to, yeah, almost 37 inches, but it's in between 37 and a half and 37. And the next thing I do is I measure my waist, which is the smallest part. Okay, and we are basically at 31 and a half inches for the waist. And then I'm going to measure my glutes, because that's really important to me, to keep as much muscle on my lower body as possible. And we are at 41 and a half inches for my glutes. So let's go ahead and get into what exactly I've been doing that has really contributed to my weight loss journey so far. Okay, so I know what you're thinking, girl. What have you been doing within the past 2.5 months to have lost this amount of weight and this amount of inches so far? Y'all, I'm gonna be completely transparent with y'all. I stopped eating out as much as I was. I literally would eat out several times during the week when I had got up to 194 pounds. And I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with the PCOS hormones, but also it makes you crave carbs and crave sweets when you have PCOS. So I kind of not eliminated carbs and sweets from my diet, because you need carbs to really function. If you choose to do keto or something like that, because I've done that in the past, that's up to you. But just know that that is for the long haul. Like, you see yourself doing keto for the rest of your life type thing. Me, I don't see that for myself. So what I started doing was just cutting back on eating out. So I will eat out probably once a week, if that. So I've been cooking a lot of meals inside of the house. Yes, that means a lot of dishes. I completely understand. You guys know I complain a lot about dishes in my vlogs, and it is a part of the game, you know, like, you get to know what exactly is going into your food, and it's just been helping keep the inflammation down because there's not a ton of salt in my food. But yeah, I only eat out probably like once a week, if that. Another thing that I have been doing is listening to my body a lot more. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but when you actually listen to your body, like right now, my body is not ready for a workout, and I know that for a fact. So you can make your plans, you can make your schedules all you want to, but please listen to your body. If your body is saying no, especially a day after shot day, for me is when my body is like, you know, not as energetic, I want to say. just listen to your body. So when it comes down to it, I get my nausea literally a day after I take my shot. It's never on the day of for me. I get it at night the day after I take my shot. Um, Also, as it pertains to Tirzepatide, I do get my Tirzepatide from LifeRX. There are links in the description. So if you guys want to save $50 and start your own journey and you have PCOS or PMOS, please do so. Like, obviously, I am an affiliate, but my life has completely changed ever since I started taking a GLP-1. And I first started taking a GLP-1 probably about 3 years ago. And then this weight loss journey is after I've restarted. So I hope that makes sense. But it does help balance your hormones. It does help curb your appetite. Just make sure that you are eating. Please set an alarm if you have to set an alarm, because the whole point of a GLP-1 for me and what I had to learn was that it is not about starvation. You do not want to starve your body, because what happens is your body is going to start pulling from your muscle. You don't want that. You want to decrease that as much as possible. Muscle is extremely important. That's why I still to this day weightlift. I actually weightlifted yesterday. I needed to go today. But weightlifting is super important. Eating your protein, like your chicken, your steak, your salmon, is super important, because that's going to help you preserve as much muscle as possible. And I preach this to the choir until I am blue in the face. Please eat your protein, and please set an alarm if you have to eat. You do not have to eat a whole lot of food, because the point is to be in a caloric deficit. But you don't want to be too far into a deficit that you have no energy, your hair is falling out, and you're losing muscle. That was never the plan, okay? So just listen to me, because I've been doing this for quite some time on and off of a GLP-1, and muscle is really important when it comes down to shaping you, but also it's really important when it comes down to longevity. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, another really good thing that I've been doing is increasing my step count. No, you do not have to hit 20K a day. You don't. Even 10K a day. I was doing less than that because I'm so sedentary, or was so sedentary, that my daily step count was probably like 2,000 to 3,000 steps. Just increase your step count over time. So maybe today it's at 3,000, which is barely hardly anything, right? How about tomorrow you aim for 4,000, and then the next day you aim for 5,000, and just work your way up to get at least a little bit above where you are maintenance wise until you get used to it. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. So right now my target goal is 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. And that's just at the low end, you guys, for me to be completely honest with you. But I understand a lot of people work from home, or a lot of people are sedentary. So just try to increase it over time, and I promise you, you will see results. Another thing that I have told you guys that is highly, highly, highly recommended, but I don't follow it every single day, is counting calories. Literally, if you start to count your calories, you will see a shift regardless if you're on a GLP-1 or not. Count those calories. I use my Fitness Pal, and I actually need to track today. But I use my Fitness Pal to track my calories, because you want to see exactly where you're at. You want to see how much protein you're consuming, how many carbs, how many fats. And, your calories is kind of like a bank. Like, that's how much money you got to spend today. So spend it, but spend it wisely. You don't want to severely undereat, like I was telling you guys earlier, because that's just not going to help you in the long run. So please do not undereat too much. And with eating, I also want to mention that water is super important. I need to actually drink more water myself. Water is like your best friend on this, because you want to make sure that you're staying hydrated as much as possible. Please hydrate your body. You do not want to be dehydrated. You're going to start to feel fatigue, low energy. And that also happens when you first start like a GLP-1 too. So don't confuse the two. Just keep going, keep pushing. I know the nausea sucks. I know it sucks to have to drink more water. I know it sucks to have to move your body more. But once you make the conscious decision that this is what you see for yourself, and you want to better yourself and work on yourself, please listen to what I'm saying and do it. I promise you, you will not regret it. I haven't met or seen anybody say that they regret losing weight. Maybe losing too much weight, because that's the thing too, you know? But I haven't seen one person be like, I hated losing weight, you know, like when they were a bigger size. My first goal weight, I told you guys, was 165 pounds. And I'm at 167, which I know I'll reach 165 within probably the next week, to be honest with you, or 2 weeks. That's why I wanted to get this video out there. But as I'm looking in the mirror, it's like, I'm glad that I've been like weightlifting and walking a lot more. But I could be doing a lot more in the gym, and I could be doing a lot more walking. But as it pertains to that, I have noticed that I still have a little mama pooch, you know, my little mama belly. So I would like to first reach 165 pounds, see how I'm feeling, and then see if another 10 pounds would be better for me, or maybe even another 15 pounds. Now, when it comes down to using a GLP-1, I was advised by my physician at LifeRX to go up 5 units every single week until I reach my goal, stopping at 90 units, which is the max that you can take, is the max dose. I have been following that plan. I think I skipped out on 1 week, but I have been following that plan. So right now, for me, a person who has PCOS, who has been on a GLP-1 for the past 3 years off and on, I am currently at 75 units on a 100-unit syringe. And that's my dosage, but you have to listen to your physician and listen to your body. Those are really, really, really important things. Like, don't just listen to me and be like, oh, she's at here, so I need to do that. No. Listen to your physician. If a certain dosage is helping you lose weight, and just tell your physician. They may tell you to stay at that dosage. And that saves you more money in the long run if you think about it, because you're using less medicine. But yeah, I'm wishing nothing but success for you guys. I loved seeing your comments on the videos about your PCOS journey or your GLP-1 journey, regardless of why you take it. You know, like whether you were diagnosed with PCOS or diabetes or pre-diabetic. I enjoy hearing about you guys' stories. So keep commenting and keep checking in with your girl. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.